In this tutorial, I will show how to take the previously built Kelton bend strategy and add additional slippage calculations to the code and how to assign fill prices manually. So we'll use the very powerful API to tell the testing engine at what levels we would like to fill prices. So I've created this. I will take this Kelton bend strategy and I copied it, and there's going to be a sample for Kelton bend custom slippage. So let's edit this code. So we took the previously defined strategy Kelton bend, and I've added additional logic to the strategy. It's actually relatively straightforward for people who understand C#. So what I've done, I went to Portfolio Executor and I created a structure called dictionary, which contains of a symbol and a double. We're basically going to create slippages. So we'll define custom slippages in ticks. So I just created this code where upon initialization of a Kelton bend, I just added these 3 lines. I said that for slippages, please add for Euro USD 0.6 ticks, for Pound USD will be 1 tick, and for Australian Dollar USD 1.2 ticks. Logic to calculate slippages could be totally custom. We can define based upon liquidity, based upon spreads. Right now I just simply will represent slippages in a simple kind of fashion. I'll also introduce the parameter right at the bottom, which I called slippage factor, which would be just in addition to custom per instrument slippage. I'll tell for entire strategy whether I want to use slippages or not. And so I've created this dictionary, and inside the on bar close, if you remember original code, we called the send order. I just created a little function called send order with slippage. So let's go inside this function. I click right mouse, say go to definition. Let's look at the code of that particular function. So I tell system that first let's get tick size for each instrument, and tick size with the security meta info class right here. Upon initialization, we are adding it to the instrument executor class, and I'm getting this security meta info, and if I just click on dot here, I will have a tick property right here. Then I'm simply going to slippages dictionary, and I'm checking if it contains certain symbol. I'm gonna bring it and I'll define slippage as tick size as a factor times tick size times slippage factor, and then we'll define assign fill price, which is we're gonna take current price, and if we're buying, so if we're buying, and this is the code, we're telling the fill price would be our current price, which is close the bar, plus slippage. If we're selling, we're going to sell below at the slippage, and I'm calling this function set order fill price. So for market orders, we can assign specifically fill price and send order. That's it. That's all I did in my particular code. Now let's build it, and let's close this strategy and let's run it. I click on command run. Let's just look at parameters. So we'll use the same 3 instruments which we did in the previous tutorial, and I will click on command start. In this case, I want to show one additional property of strategy runner. So we have ability to define multiple combination of parameters. So I can run 2 scenarios when slippage factor would be 1.0 and when slippage factor would be 0.0. So we can choose 2 scenarios here. This is like almost built-in brute force, little brute force kind of grid builder. So right now it's just we're going to run 2 scenarios, and I click on command OK. We'll compare side by side 2 different scenarios. Let's study the results. This is the experiment with slippage factor 0, this experiment with slippage factor 1. So let's look at every single market order which we are sending. So if you remember, we're overwriting at this point next bar open or current bar close. We will be just filling the order based upon the slippage. So in this configuration, for this particular chart, I am, by, for example, sending the order at this level, and I'm filling it at this level. So this is my slippage factor is 0.6 ticks for Euro USD. So we can see it. Let me zoom in and find out right here. This is the market order to buy. This is where we filled it. So we have adjustments. You can see the on the left side moved up. For different instruments, the fill slippages would be definitely different. So for pound USD it will be 1 tick, and for Australian dollar USD it will be more than 1 tick. Let's find an example of a fill orders. Right, so right here you see that this is the level where we send the order to sell. This is actually where we actually filled it. So if we look at total P&L, of course it's going to be pretty sad. Exactly the same strategy, exactly the same logic, except slippages are not taken into account, would be looking much more optimistic. So obviously there is fundamental difference between these two examples. What would we expect? So we got everything else otherwise exactly the same trades, except that of course fill prices would be different in both cases. Thank you.